Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another amazing episode brought to you by Games Glitches. In today's episode, we're just going to take a look at how to get your gear score to 480, 485, 490. Based on my previous video, I made several mistakes there, kind of gotten tired, was popping out 3 videos a day, so decided to kind of remake this entire video real quick and show you guys what this deal is really all about. That having higher gear score and all there has many benefits, even though many of you left comments stating otherwise and different things. So we're just going to go and take a look at it again from a fresh point of view, with me having a bit more rest. Now, let's just quickly go over the importance of what the previous video was trying to highlight. That the idea that 465 gear score is the max, which was spread by other YouTubers, is severely false. The whole point of that video is to show that you could get gear score much higher. To show that the recalibration, that you could recalibrate 15 points on any gear you find. Meaning that it's not just 465, you could recalibrate a 451 to 460. 452 to 467, and so on. It's pretty much 15 points recalibration. It's to us to also to show that you could reach gear score of 480 and above. This becomes very important when you're opening caches. Yes, the gear, again, please, ladies and gentlemen, please note that the gear I'm showing you that I'm recalibrating is purely for the show. This is not amazing, this is crap gear, I understand that, but the stats are random in this game. So what might be a crap for me that might drop, something amazing might drop for you. Something good, something beneficial might be there for you, because this is stats are random. You kill bunch of mobs and you could get bunch of different loot. So please don't look at the loot stats, but try to understand the mechanics of what I'm trying to say behind it. This is one of the only ways currently right now that you could get a higher tier weapon. For example, in my beginning of my videos, as you guys seen, I opened up a cache and got myself a tactical MK16 468 gear score. You can't currently recalibrate weapons at all to increase the gear score, so the only way you could get higher weapons is by simply opening caches and hope that you're going to get it. But the way that works is you need to have a higher base gear score. So the moment you get above at 450 gear score, you'll start seeing 451. Once you get all of the stuff to 460, 470 and so on, you will start seeing greater gear score. Also, please note, yes, I understand that the World Tier 5 is already around the corner, but the concept of 15 points on top of the gear score increase on recalibration will stay the same, meaning that once the 500 gear score will come out, you could still recalibrate to 515, then you will start getting 505 stuff, and then you could recalibrate to that 520, 525, 530. I can already recalibrate items to 482, which is quite amazing. For example, the two knee pads I got, 464 and 465, one can be recalibrated into 479 and the other one can be recalibrated into 480, already beefing up my gear score. Because I recalibrated, my overall gear score is now higher, allowing me that the caches that I get and I open them to get even better weapons, better items. Please note the stats are at random, so whatever caches I open, those are gonna be random gear. Could be weapons, could be armor, could be anything. But the fact that now it's going to be a gear score higher, several gear score higher than it was before, could now play a significant role in having max stats on that piece. Also, the importance of my last video was the fact that you can only recalibrate things once. You can't recalibrate them multiple times in the sense of to increase gear score. You can recalibrate them, but you can't recalibrate the gear score more than once. Meaning, once you do add two 450 pieces, you get 465. There is no way to recalibrate a 465 into, let's say, a 480. Another 15 points. Now, another important thing that I want to point out is the fact that you will now get mods that are above 460, 465. And even in this video, you guys could see in the beginning, I'm getting a mod that's already 463. Even if you're not interested in the gear, even if let's say you're not interested in the weapons, you could still get a very higher grade tier mods. If you're not interested in mods, maybe you want the weapons, you will get a greater gear score weapons. Please note, again, you don't need to carry this, to wear this gear. You could just have gear on a side already recalibrated, so for you to put it on before you get or open those caches. You know, before you pop things open, before you do any kind of loot things, you put on the gear, now you have a higher gear score and you go with it, and now you gain simply better loot. So this increases loot in every direction. It increases the gear score of loot, I apologize, the gear score of loot in every direction on the mod front, weapon mod, and the armor mod front. Simply because all the gear stats are random. So even if right now you're like, oh, look at this shitty item that he is showing you, yes, it is shitty, because the whole principle of this is to show you that you could just keep increasing your gear score in the next world tier, in a world tier 5, that you can go beyond 500. You could easily go to 515, 520, 525, 530, just simply using the same exact method of recalibrating upwards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this nice little video. If you found it helpful and or entertaining, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. And I really hope that I made myself a lot more clear than I did in the last video. You know, if there's any comments or concerns, please feel free to post them in the description below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Thank you all for watching, and be safe in the dark zone.